I'm going to step through the process of doing the deleting the student thing. I'm going to try and keep it as simple as I can, and for that purpose I've stripped a whole bunch of stuff down. So this is the students page, the index page, without any filters or anything like that on it. Looking at what's actually going on there, this is as simple as it gets. It's just pure HTML with this one call to the data view students function, and looking at that, there's nothing new in that. That's this data view students, select star from students, blah blah blah. I've seen it all before. So going to the instructions on the 13com web page, firstly there was this. This is a single TD element to add that extra column into this data view students. So on the end of all the other TDs, we're going to have one more TD, which is just going to add on this delete ID link. Remember, it's using that bootstrap icon there. And because I've added that there, just save that, I'm going to need to put another heading on the table, otherwise it's just going to look nasty. So save that as well, see what we've got. So I've got this now. So that links to the delete.php page with delete ID equals 12050, which I haven't created yet, object not found, so let's go and make that thing. So new text document, delete.php. It's all about the copy paste, so let's go grab the basic stuff. I think we can take all of that lot, so we get the db config and we get the style sheet, and yeah, that'll do. So let's drop that directly into, I need to open delete.php, don't I? There we go, blank file. Good. So this point, all I want to do is just actually do the delete. In a moment we'll put the confirmation message on and all of that kind of thing, but let's just keep it simple for now, shall we? So again, copy and paste is our friend. Back to here, this is how we call a function. A little bit of PHP. Let's just drop that in here. So CRUD students, data view students. I actually don't want to call that because that just shows me all the students. I want to delete a student. Haven't written that function yet. Better go and write it. So keep closing that. So back to class.crud, public function data view students. Go to the end of that function. Public function, let's delete student. This is going to be some stuff. I know from 13com page I'm going to have this query in there, so I'll drop that in there for the moment. So I need the student ID thing. Let's start thinking about that. So back to delete.php. I'm saying delete student. I need to say which student. I need to actually pass it a student ID. That's going to be a variable. So in order to get that variable, because it's been passed through a different method from a form post like we've normally been doing in the past, I've given you that extra. This was the only new bit, remember, get instead of post. So copy that and back to here, and inside there's a little bit of PHP. Student ID equals get, all of that stuff. Isn't this indentation ugly? Let's just fix that. What do I do things neatly, eh? That's better. So that's actually done. I'm just going to keep things so it's a bit easy to see what's going on, I'm going to do a link back to the index.php at this point, and that will be back to students. Okay, So that will actually do everything that needs to be done for now here. Let's go back to class.crud and think about what's going to happen here. This is all standard stuff. This is a query. We're going to run a query. So let's go and look at how we run a query. Well, here's some stuff. We can grab that, that's for sure. That runs a query. One of the issues, though, is that we haven't got the parameterization with this bit here. So I'm just going to hop into something that we've done before. I think pretty much any of these will have it. And class.crud, just hopping through it. There we go. Bind a value. So I'm just going to take the simplest one of those that I can find. Close that because I don't need that anymore. And bind value. Let's get all these things right. Student ID. And of course delete student now is being passed to value. So student ID. And here student ID. Is that going to work? I guess there's only one way to find out, isn't there? So let's go back to here. And in theory, oh, Nathan Roberts has actually left. He'd be a perfect student to delete. Let's give him a go. Back to students. No error messages. He's gone. Who else should we delete? How about Yang? Let's get rid of Yang. Back to students. He's gone. So miraculously that worked. So let's continue and tidy things up a bit and use some of this other stuff that's in the 13com page. So we've got all of that done. So we want to do a confirmation thing now. So we're going to need this alert to say, are you sure you want to delete the student? So it's just a matter of thinking about where this goes. So the delete.php, I'm just going to drop it in here now. It's probably going to be in the wrong place. We'll worry about it later. And the other bit was this form. So this form is the yes, no, are you sure you want to delete Yang Dai, whoever. So let's copy that, drop it in here. We're going to have to shuffle things around a bit, so just drop it in right at the top. So let's look at this form. We've got a form method equals post, input type equals hidden. So that means it's actually keeping that value of the student ID that's being passed through. And then when we submit the form again, that gets submitted one more time. So we'll need an actual post statement to go and get that. So what we should probably be doing right here, a bit more PHP, and doing an if is set, and then we'd better go and get that thing post, and it was name equals a button delete. Is that right? We're going to have to shuffle things around. Everything's in the wrong order here. If it can be done, fixed up later. So if the delete button has been pressed, then what's going to happen? Well, we're just going to do the stuff we just did, which was down here somewhere. God, I've lost track a little bit, to be quite honest. We are in delete.php. Grad students delete. Yeah, we're just going to call that up, aren't we? But the thing is, we've got this issue with the get now, so we need to actually think about that. So I'm going to put this and say that button has been clicked, but we're going to actually get that student ID. It's been posted. So from the form, post, and it was called when it was posted student ID. So grab that as well. A little bit messy at this point, but should work out. And then we'll also want the back to students to appear right there. I'm just going to do that as a print statement just to keep mindlessly put in question mark PHPs, so speech marks, and then I've got to be a little bit careful here because of the different sorts of speech marks. So I'm going to change that to single quotes, and then it won't actually see that as two separate strings, it sees it as a single string, semicolon. So if that button has been clicked, then do that, else we're going to see the form. So let's put all of this whole form into here. That was paying attention. I reckon that little lot. Method equals post. And yeah, obviously we're going to need to make that inside a question mark PHP thing. PHP. Oh, we're already inside a PHP actually. We're going to need to end the PHP. That's one thing I find quite messy about this, is dealing with PHP and HTML all mixed together. It's just like pretty ugly actually. Anyway, so we've ended the PHP, then we've got this whole form thing appear. Thing is, it needs to echo that student ID, which we haven't got in this stage. So we're going to actually take this little bit here and put this into there. So that's the point at which we're getting it from the previous page rather than from the form which has been posted. So tidying that up, oh, I've got a horrible feeling there's a bit of tidying yet to do here. Sometimes, you know, you just got to run your code and see what happens, haven't you? Let's give it a go. So back to here, and let's try deleting Dylan. Didn't like that. Line 15 of delete.php. If is set post button delete. Is this because I've submitted a form? Or I haven't submitted a form when I first come here? B. What was the error message again? Cannot use is set on the result of a function call. Have I used the wrong brackets? I've used the wrong brackets. Square brackets. I only know that because I've made that mistake so many times. So I guess we get better at these things with practice. Okay, let's go back. And who was it? Zach Taylor. Let's get rid of him. Dang. Line 32. Unexpected line. That feels like I missed another bracket or something. Yeah, down here it wants more brackets, doesn't it? Else this. And in fact, we're still inside some. I think this just needs to be. This is HTML. This is ugly. Look at this. I'm going to put in a question mark PHP and a / question mark just to contain a single bracket. That's not pretty. I wonder if it'll work there. So let's try and delete Zach again. I'm not sure I want to delete the student. Hell yeah. Right, yes. Oh! Anyway. Well, I'm up to my limit of time. Maybe I'll do that a bit more tomorrow, but you get the idea. I'm sure you could work it out from there. Good luck.